Do you feel like you've been lied to about work-life balance? Do you feel like it's this unicorn that you're always chasing that you can never find? People say it doesn't exist. I'm going to challenge that belief today because I believe that work-life balance exists, just not in the way that you think or maybe the way that you've been taught. A lot of people think that work-life balance means that you spend 50% of your time on at work and 50% of your time living your life. And that balance does not exist. It's not a perfect 50-50. I really believe it's more about how you feel, and everybody's balance looks different. One person's balance means they work 40 hours a week, 60 hours a week, and that feels good to them, and that's okay. As long as you're doing it for the right reasons and you're not chasing success or achievement for your worthiness or for your validation. Other people, 30 hours a week or 20 hours a week or 10 hours a week, and then they homeschool their kids or do other things. Everybody's balance looks different, but we can all find a balance that really works for us. And one of the things that we're going to talk about today is how sports balance it. In sports, there's a 3-to-1 rest to performance ratio. My background is sports medicine. I worked with high performing athletes for 14 years, and I have a master's degree in sports psychology. And one of the things after I got burnout in my career as a stay-at-home mom and as a business owner, every time I kept thinking, oh, well, if I just had a better job or I didn't have to work as much, if I just if my kids just behaved, I would be happier. If my business was just making the money that I needed it to make, I wouldn't feel this exhausted. I wouldn't feel this burnt out. I wouldn't have to work this hard. And I always thought it was if something was different, then I would feel better or I wouldn't reach this burnout. And I realized that that wasn't true. After experiencing burnout 3 different times in 3 completely different roles, I realized that it was more about what I was believing and more about what I was chasing because of the beliefs that I held. The other thing was I didn't really know how to be present in my business or in my work and not be distracted by my family, or be present with my family and not be distracted by work. I didn't know how to show up in the way that I wanted to in all of those different areas of my life. And I had a really hard time balancing it, like we all do, right? We all have many different plates in the air that we're juggling. You have to be wife, dad, mom, husband, CEO, HR, marketing, right? We have these billion different roles, chauffeur, cook. And we are juggling a lot of different plates, right? We have a lot of different plates spinning in the air. The question is which ones do you keep spinning and which ones do you let go of? And in sports, they have a 3-to-1 rest to performance ratio. So what I mean by that is 75% of their time is actively working on their skills, practicing in competition. And 25% of that is resting their bodies mentally, physically, emotionally. So how do we bring this same model that has been used, that has been scientifically proven to produce Olympic gold medalists and champions for over 60 years? When I recognize like this works and has worked in the sports world for this long, why can't we bring this into the business world and apply these same principles to our business and our life? Now, what I want to talk about is, again, everybody's balance is different and what you consider work-life balance is different. But what I want you to think about is, how do you feel? I can tell you I have some weeks and some days where I work way longer, and I have some days where I work way less. That works for me. That works for my life. But the one thing that I've shifted and that I've changed, and the thing that you need to think about, is what is driving you towards your success? Is it fear? Is it worthiness? Is it validation? Because if you can understand that, and if you can understand where the drive is coming from, it doesn't matter where you're at or what you're doing. That is going to help you start to understand why you're doing the things that you're doing. It's going to help you understand why you feel like you're constantly chasing success, or you're in a high stress state. Maybe you don't even realize you're in a high stress state, because a lot of people don't. I didn't for a long time. But what I want to really hit home with you today is I want you to start thinking about what does a rest to performance ratio look like for you? Meaning, how much rest do you need versus how much do you need to be performing? And a lot of people, there's fear in rest. And people think like, Cheree, how can I like rest my business? There's no rest time in my business. Doesn't mean you're shutting your doors, right? Doesn't mean you're not doing any business at all. It's just about what is the intention that you're doing and creating seasons of rest and peak performance in your business. Again, it's not a 50-50. I want you to think about how can you apply this to your day, to your week, to your month, to your year. So if we think about in the day, like where can you rest in your day? And I'm not just talking about sleep, right? I'm talking about mental rest, emotional rest, physical rest, spiritual rest. What does that look like? And when do you need to be in peak performance? And also paying attention to your energy cycles throughout your day, through your week, through your month, and through your year. This is going to be different for men and women. Men are more productive in a 24-hour period. Women are more productive in a 28-day period. So this is going to look different between men and women. This is even going to look different between individuals of when your energy peaks through the day and when your energy disappears in the day. And really understanding that so you can be the most productive instead of reacting, right? We're going to be proactive in what we're doing and how we're doing it. So our framework for this and what we teach our clients is called the RAMP method. And it's designed just like the sports seasons. Sports, they have one off season usually, and they have 3 on seasons, but each of those seasons have an intention. And so as they come off of their rest season or their off season, they come together, they're working on skills, they're learning how to work as a team, they're determining who's going to be in what position. And then they move into their competition phase. They already know who's in what position. Everybody already knows what they're doing. Now it's about mindset. It's about communication. It's about understanding what you should be doing and what you should not be doing. And then they move into their post season, which is the Super Bowl or going for the Olympic gold medal. March Madness is coming up here for basketball. And we want them, everything that they do is to ramp up so they can be in peak performance at the exact right time so they can become the champions. That's the goal. That's the goal for you as a business owner as well. You don't have to be afraid of rest. The strategic rest, when done the right way, will actually propel your success forward. It will help you be more productive and profitable and fulfilled and happy. So the RAMP method is our solution for this. RAMP stands for rest, align, master, peak. It's designed just like the sports seasons. And we teach you really how to apply this to your business and your life, because that's the biggest struggle that we hear from people is and for me, like, I could be a workaholic. I needed to create something in my life that forced me to have boundaries and to create boundaries, so I don't go into my workaholic tendencies. So there's more in depth to this, but for today, I just really wanted to challenge your belief and help you understand that work-life balance actually is possible. I promise you it is. It's just not in the way that you're thinking about it. I would love to hear comments. Drop in the comments below. What do you struggle with? What do you have a hard time with? What questions do you have? What did this spark inside of you? Like, did it make you think of something different? When we talk about rest within your business for yourself, but also for your team, and not expecting your team to be in peak performance all the time. Again, we as a society, as businesses, strategists, like, we want everybody to be in peak performance all the time. And the reality is we just aren't. And we have to get to identify when we are in peak performance, and we get to allow ourselves and create and be proactive so that we can be in peak performance at the right time instead of all the time. I would love to hear your comments. Drop it below. Any questions that you have. I see that we have a viewer. Awesome. Welcome, whoever's here. It's not showing me who is viewing, but I would love to hear from you. And I'll give just a second for anybody that is watching to drop in the comments. But what did this make you think different? Again, I want you to think about 3-to-1 rest to performance ratio. Get out of your head that 50-50 balance. That does not exist. It's a lie. It's not helping you. It's keeping you stuck. But that doesn't mean that you can't feel like you have a better work-life balance. Okay? I don't see any comments or questions coming through, so I am going to hop off. We're going to keep this short and sweet, and I will see you all at a later time.